Lions TV. Joe Edwards' successor has been appointed already. This is not a joke. It's not April the 1st. It's not a cheese dream. This is actually fucking happening. Club legend as a player, club legend as a manager, Neil Harris returns to the helm. The club have gone full circle and the prodigal son returns to open and write yet another chapter in this love story between him and Millwall Football Club on an 18-month contract. And Dave Livermore will be his assistant. Harris has now managed this season in League 2 with Cambridge, where we just took him from. League 1 with Gillingham, and now he is back in the Championship and back in the hot seat in SE16. I always say it, this club is like a soap opera, and you could not make it up, and you just could not make this up. This is not a wind-up. This is not a video from 2016. Neil Harris is once again the manager of Millwall Football Club. Now, there's lots and lots to talk about. So if you hadn't seen the Joe Edwards video that I've done earlier, and you're probably thinking, what is going on with the audio and the visual? My laptop is dead. That's why there was no post-match from Saturday. I've ordered a new laptop. They had none in store today. That I said I'll drive anywhere in the southeast to pick it up. We haven't got it. So they're going to deliver it tomorrow. And tomorrow I will do some more extensive videos. I'll do a podcast with the boys. But unfortunately for now, you've got me talking into my phone. One chance, one take. And we're talking about probably the biggest day the channel's ever had. Unbelievable news. Neil Harris, I will say it once again because I cannot believe it myself, returns to Millwall Football Club as manager after leaving in, 2019, was it? 5 years ago? Something like that. He left the club, and he did leave the club, by the way, after the Luton game. He chose to leave the club. The club wanted him to stay. They tried to talk him into it. He said, I've taken it as far as I can. So where do we go from here? Okay, look, first and foremost, I've said everything I wanted to say about Joe Edwards, and I liked him as a manager, and I feel that it's the wrong manager, wrong time. If you want to check that video out, then I'll link that in at the end. But if you had to say to me, look, Edwards can't save you, pick one person that can and will save you. Honestly, I would have picked Neil Harris. For me, the appointment alone, the riling up of the fans, the riling up he'll be able to do on the players. We've basically got, 14 games left now, 14 cup finals. And Neil Harris, I'm convinced, will get us out of this without an absolute doubt. I am surprised it's a permanent appointment, I won't lie, on an 18-month contract. And I know it's massively going to split the fan base. I think more so than splitting the fan base is, can he keep us up this season? Should he be our manager beyond this season? Look, we know what Harris will do. He'll go aggressive. He'll let the players know what it's about to play for this football club. He'll get them rolled up. We'll be in people's faces. He'll be aggressive. We'll be direct. And like I said before, look, 15, 14 cup finals. We've seen him do it. On his day, he can get a Millwall team to beat absolutely anyone. And we saw that in our cup exploits under him down the years. Leicester, Everton, Watford, Premier League at the time, Bournemouth, amongst others, I believe. He really can do this job, in my opinion. Is it a great appointment beyond this season? I'll be honest, I don't see what he can do. Now look, he left before under his own accord. I've always defended him, right? He did what he thought was best for the football club. He clearly loves the football club, and to walk away from his job at Cambridge and come back again, I think that definitely proves this. And I think, as I said, if I could pick anyone to keep us up, I would pick Neil Harris. He's lumbered with the players he's got, okay? They're the players he's going to got. We know he's going to go 4-4-2, okay? Which will definitely please Sir Kenny of Draper, I know for sure. And he'll be on the podcast, I'm sure, tomorrow night as well. But look, we'll go 4-4-2. We'll be in people's faces. I don't think Harris fouled last time out. I really don't. He took us in a similar position, didn't he? Well, a little bit earlier and not as bad as under under Holloway. He couldn't save us. He took us down. But he knows if worst case we do go down, which none of us want, and it will be financially crippling for the club, we know that Neil Harris can get teams out of League One. However, I don't believe that's why the club have appointed him. I believe they appointed him because they think that he is the man to save us from relegation. As I said, with Dave Livermore back as his assistant. And honestly, you'll probably think I'm mad. I think it's an absolute masterstroke. If Edwards couldn't save us, and after Saturday, I feel like for the first time in my mind that he'd had lost the dressing room, then Harris is absolutely the man for the job. We nearly went back to back, didn't we? Got promoted under Harris via the playoffs, and then the second season, I think we finished 7th, 8th, just outside. The season after that, we didn't do so well. Second season syndrome, finished about 19th, I think, something like that. And the third season, he went out in the summer, didn't he? He bought 10 new players. He bought Mahoney. He bought the right back McCarthy. He bought loads and loads of players, and then left not long after. I think he left at a time where he felt he didn't want the crowd to start turning on him. But I don't think that we was in the amount of trouble that a lot of you thought we was when he left. So he wasn't sacked. I've seen a lot of that on social media today. Well, we got rid of Harris, and then we brought him back. We didn't get rid of Harris. He left. John Berylson, God rest his soul, he tried to keep Harris. He said, look, have a talk with us. Blah, blah. He said, no, my mind's made up. I'm going. He went on to manage Cardiff, of course, didn't do so well there. Recently at Gillingham, where I thought he was doing a good job. But things didn't work out between him and the chairman. And now, as I said, he's landed in League Two at Cambridge. He's not been there long. Doing all right there as well. And now he had to come back to SE16. It still sounds really, really weird when I'm saying, look, we know what Harris is, right? He's a motivator, okay? And he will motivate these players, in my opinion, clear of the relegation zone, far away from, not far away. But trust me, in my opinion, which I hope counts for a lot while you're watching these videos, Millwall aren't getting relegated under Neil Harris. I think it's definitely the right appointment. It's a fairy tale appointment, or is it going to be a nightmare? I don't think it will be. Worst case, we go down. I still don't think they will sack him. And he's got an 18-month contract. Like I said, the football, as I said in Joe Edwards' video, which I've already done, you know, Edwards has got all these players left now, and the majority of them Neil Harris players that were great for Harris and great for the Championship at the time. But as time's gone on, football's evolved, and those players now have got older as well, and probably at the time they're coming towards the end of their time at the club or as professional footballers, some of them the wrong side of 30. However, I will say this, I do believe that Neil Harris won't change his beliefs. I do believe it will be a rigid 4-4-2, and people say that's not the way to go in football anymore. And I was, look, only got to look back through the videos. I was one of the first to say, I'm bored of this hoofball, I don't want to see this anymore. However, I think football's changed so much, and so many teams now, across the board, are going for this three at the back, split the centre-backs, play out the back, that now the Harris way could almost be, although it's an old-fashioned way, the new way, because it's going to be in a way that teams aren't used to playing against anymore. And I think he will do the job. And I think it's a great appointment. I would have loved for him to have been the interim until the end of the season. As much as I love you, Gaffer, if you're watching, because I know you used to have a little sneaky look at my videos. Unfortunately, as excited as I am, and as buzzing as I am, and as on board with this as I am, I cannot lie to you. I can't see how we can go forward as a football club next season with Harris in charge. And I could be wrong. And you may think, hang on, but you've just said that Harris is the man. Back in the day, remember, it was like Harry Bassett and people like that. They'd come in, they were motivators, they keep teams up, but give them a bit of money and they wasn't as good and they would foul. For me, if Harris does keep us up, and not just Harris, any manager that comes in, all these players are the wrong side of 30, all need replacing. I think we're between a rock and a hard place now. I think it's more about, can we get investment? Can we get a bigger budget? Or is James Berylson going to dip into his pocket and give us more budget to expand the club? Because we're going to need a lot of fucking players in the summer. Let's hope that's in the Championship and not in League One. But no disrespect to Harris, of course. Club legend, club all-time top goal scorer. Give me some of my most brilliant times, memories-wise, as a Millwall fan, when he was a player and when he was a manager. But I can't see it's a step in the right direction long-term to give him the job back. All day long for the here and now is perfect. But going forward next season, if we stay up, I don't think it will work in the long term. And maybe he knows that. Maybe the club know that. Maybe he'll keep us up and walk away and be that's to build 2 statues instead of 1. But as excited as I am, I cannot lie to you. I do not think that beyond this season, it's going to be a good appointment. I think in the short term it will work, and I think it's a masterstroke. But long term, I don't think Harris has the tactical know-how. I don't think he has the understanding of what players you need for the Championship. Maybe he does, because as we know, we're a club on a smaller budget in this division, and we have to take a punt on these players that are from the lower echelons of the football fucking world. But for me, seeing previous signings that he's made, and it might be harsh that, because I've just named a few that are still knocking around for us in the Championship and doing well. I'm talking about Ryan Leonard. I'm talking about Sean Hutchinson, George Saville, Tom Bradshaw. They're all still doing well for us in the Championship. So maybe I'm wrong on that one, but I don't know. It's a massive... I'm not being indecisive. I'm just telling you, for the here and now, I think fucking great. But going forward, next season, is it a little bit of a cycle that we're now stuck in? And how can we ever progress and go forward as a football club? Unless the club are saying, no, look, we've tried and tested other stuff. We'll keep Neil Harris now. If he keeps us up, we'll happily knock around mid-table in the Champ and have a cup run, which we will. It'll definitely be exciting times. I don't think it will be pretty under Harris over the coming weeks and months, but I am absolutely sure he is the man for the job. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll be back tomorrow as well for a den debate. It could be lively and it could be lengthy. So clear the schedule, 8 o'clock, that's what she said, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And that's it. That's the news today. Joe Edwards sacked, and Neil Harris, club legend, returns as manager 5 years after he left. I'm sure all those Southampton tickets that went in the bin will now be getting dug back out again. By the way, dug back out again, I was supposed to say. But it was bin day today. We didn't stuck behind a fucking bin lorry. So I'm sure that the majority of the 3,000 or some of you was considering not going Saturday, but now you'll all be there in your droves to support Super Neil Harris, who is once again the manager of Millwall Football Club. Honestly, this football club never ever ceases to amaze me. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.